Yes, I believe we are live. It's Manchester United versus Burnley. Who would have guessed that this would be one of the most interesting previews of the season? Most people would have it down at the start of the season as not really bothered what happens in it. But given everything that's going on at the moment, there is so much to discuss and explore. So having said that, Darren Fletcher is just about to speak to the media and we'll get the quotes from that and we'll react to everything that he's going to be saying. Don't worry too much about that. But right now, Sam, for the most part of the day, it's been people trying to figure out who's going to come in as a caretaker, interim manager, call it whatever you want. And Laurie Whitwell's reporting that Ole Gunnar Solskjaer is the favourite to come in until the end of the season. Is this December 2018 again? What's going on? This is utter madness, right?
Yeah, we're running it back. We're running it all back. Yeah. Avengers is going back to the old guys with Doomsday, and we're going back to Ollie.
You just need that music in the background, don't you? That.
Are we bringing Donny back? Are we bringing Rashford back? McTominay? All get the band back together. Let's go.
Yeah. It's a weird one. How would you feel personally if Solskjaer coming back in? Are you at the point where the football's been that dire for so long, you kind of like, fuck it, let's just experiment and take the risk? Or are you like, maybe, lightning can't strike twice in regards to, I think he had like a 75% win percentage when he took over.
There's the old adage in it, the Mick McCarthy thing. It can't get any worse, can it?
Yeah.
It can.
It can. We all remember Ragnick, right?
Yeah. So there's that part of me. There's the part of me that the most entertained consistently football that I've had post Fergie was Ole Gunnar Solskjaer's football.
Yeah,
that is the time I enjoyed watching United the most, like on a week to week basis. Like it was thrilling football. Like I enjoyed everything about it. And it kind of came crashing down in the transfer window with Ronaldo and all this other stuff, which we've been through many, many times. So there's that side of it. But I also remember how dire the football was towards the end. Yeah. How a lot of people were turning against him, and the Watford 4-1 defeat sticks in my mind still to this day. And there seems to be a lot of revisionism going on. Ollie's the right guy and stuff, and maybe he is. Like, we need a feel good factor. We need somebody that understands the club. But I remember the last run where we looked terrible, and that's a lingering image. There's also the worry that obviously he had really intelligent coaches with him, Kieran McKenna and Michael Carrick next to him at the time. Those guys are no longer there.
Mm-hmm.
Who's he going to be with? Who's he bringing with him? Is it going to be him and Fletcher? Is they going to bring Carrick? Are they going to bring Rude in? Obviously, Kieran McKenna is at Ipswich. Yeah. So, like, how's that going to work out? So there's that question mark as well. But yeah, there's three guys that you could maybe four if you include Rude, but I don't think he's a serious contender in my eyes. But there's three guys in these: Fletcher, Carrick, and Ollie. One of them is probably going to get it. And
could they have like assemble a team though, not to keep playing on the Avengers kind of thing?
Yeah.
But they could come together surely, right? None of them are in a job at the minute. It's just who plays assistant and who's that kind of thing, innit?
I'd imagine Ollie would probably get the manager or the head coach role because he's got the most experience. Like he was at Mulder, Cardiff, obviously managed United for 2 seasons. Carrick has only managed Middlesbrough for like a season and a bit. And then Fletcher obviously hasn't managed anyone except the under-18s this year. So I'd imagine that would be the structure. Whether Carrick would want to be an assistant again after being an actual manager, I don't know. But I'd like that setup. I think that would be good. You've got Fletcher, obviously, who's in touch with the under-18s and a youth development, bringing it for him. You've got Carrick, who's been a player at the club, has managed the club for a short period, and has been a manager at a lower level. And then you've got Ollie, who ticks all of those boxes. So, yeah, that could be a nice little setup. But, yeah, we don't know at this point, do we? We're just sort of speculating, so...
Yeah, the old cliches will be there, the DNA, the fabric of the club.
Yeah.
Do we know what it's like? You know what's going to
feel-good factor, all that sort of bollocks.
Exactly. Right, let's get into these quotes that are coming out from the press conference then, because Darren Fletcher literally is speaking to the media right now. So on being appointed as the interim manager, he said it's surreal. It's an amazing honour to be able to lead a Man United team. I don't think in my wildest dreams that was something that could happen. I'm really proud today. He's also confirmed, Sam, that Bruno Fernandes and Mason Mount are training ahead of United on managed minutes, but they're there and they're available, which is fantastic news, right?
Yeah, I'd imagine neither of them start. if that's the case.
Mm.
I might have to tweak my 11 then because I've got one of them in there, so I have to tweak that. But yeah, that's great news because God knows when we looked at the team the other day, the lack of creativity that we
Yeah,
had and missing Bruno. I am done with people who say Bruno it is not part of, like shouldn't be a part of this team because I
it's
saw
madness, isn't it?
evidence when he wasn't there, we couldn't create anything.
Yeah.
So yeah, I'm done with those
Do you know
people.
what? I was thinking that before. I was like, he is almost a once in a lifetime kind of transfer signing.
Yeah.
You very rarely, you will find it so hard to replace someone who does what Bruno Fernandes does on all fronts. You really will. So if he's back, again, you don't want to risk it and push him too much. But if they've
No.
got 45 minutes in the tank, I'm sure we've got a squad capable of taking it to Burnley in the first 45 and then bringing those off the bench will be mega for us.
I'm sure Bruno will want to start as well. Like I'm sure he's going to do everything he can to start because that's who he is. I wouldn't risk Mason Mount just because his history of injuries and stuff like that. I would shield him as much as you can because as much as I like him when he starts and stuff, I don't think he's much of an impact sub. I would say, like he's not that kind of player. So if we can save him, like unless an emergency on the pitch happens, then yeah. But having Bruno back, God, we've missed that guy.
Yeah. Obviously, there's going to be a life after the Burnley game, Sam, and Fletcher's been speaking about whether he wants to stay on as the caretaker after that game. And he put, honestly, it's not something I've thought about. That discussion is for after the game. It's all happened so quickly. All my concentration and efforts are going on Burnley, which any manager would say who's just taken over. Like, I kind of expect that answer. But is there a case of if we go and plaster Burnley tomorrow, let's say it's 4-5-0, is there a case of another Ollie situation happening here again, potentially?
I mean, it's possible, isn't it? Like, because it seems like we're not hiring a permanent manager until the summer, at least. So the options are there, aren't they? Like, if Fletcher does well, apparently he's getting Burnley and possibly Brighton.
Yeah.
So if he does really, really well in both of those games, then maybe they do. Like, say, yeah, just keep going.
Yeah.
And we'll see what happens. But say Ollie comes in, I think his first game would be City, which is a hell of a first game to come back to, isn't it?
I've seen so many memes. I can't remember what film it is that Leonardo DiCaprio's in, and it's just as above him when Pep finds out that Ollie's in for the City game, and it's just like devastated. Yeah. That really will be so bizarre just seeing him back at the club and like a 2.0 version. And I'm sure I've read reports that he's really eager to right some wrongs and mistakes and stuff. And obviously still a lot of players at the club who were there when he was
Bruno,
there. Bruno Maguire were his biggest players when he
Yep.
was at the club. So I find that fascinating to see it if that happens. But again, we'll have plenty of time to talk about that. On the main quote, this is what everyone was waiting for and what we joked about on the possible full debuts of his son Tyler and Jack Fletcher. He says, I won't be disclosing team information before the game. They were in the training group on Monday because that was already arranged before I got there. They've been in the squad recently, but we've got a couple of players back from injury, so we'll assess that tomorrow. We've got a few players to assess because there's a short turnaround from games. They're in the periphery squad, but whether they make match day squad, I don't know. That must be a mad dynamic, in it.
Yeah.
So your dad's the manager, and you've got twin brothers who are both in the first team.
Yeah.
I think I could, like you say, don't shit where you eat. Is that the saying? Right?
Yeah.
There's a case of that there, isn't there? Like,
yeah, it's a bit of a weird. It's an awkward car ride home, isn't it? If he doesn't pick him,
like, Dad, what? 10 minutes today, mate. Like, what's going on? Why have you not played me? Like, I think you've almost got to go against it a little bit just to, push that extra tough love. Call it what you want.
If he did get the job, like say for the rest of the season, I'd imagine he'd have to try and loan them or something, wouldn't it? Because that is just going to be every week, isn't it? Like they're going to play and stuff. So that'd be, it's an interesting discussion. I imagine if you're saying Bruno and Mason Mount are training on the grass, I heard Cobby's training on grass as well. I've seen that. I don't. Obviously, it's not been confirmed. I'd imagine Mason and Bruno would take those two spots that Tyler and Jack would on the bench. I'd imagine.
Yeah. We'll get into it. This is the preview, by the way, for the game, but because of everything that's ongoing at the minute, we're trying to cover quotes from the press conference and other bits and bobs surrounding the club as well. It's just social media has just been an utter explosion today, which usually happens. Obviously, when a United manager gets sacked, everyone just talks about that. So we'll try to get back a little bit more into this game. We spoke yesterday, Sam, about potentially that the handbrakes coming off being a bit of a tap in for Fletcher. But again, we got to be careful that the line here where it can go Ollie's way or it can go Ragnick's way. What's your inner belief, gut feeling telling you at the minute? How do you see the game playing out tomorrow?
I think he goes back to basics, back whether that's a 4-3-3 or a 4-2-3-1. I don't know like how he's going to structure it, but I imagine it's going to be some formation of that type. There'll probably be a bit of a bounce, I'd imagine, a feel-good factor, one of their own, somebody who've worked with. So I think, yeah, it'll be a comfortable win. I don't know if I would predict a smashing or a battering, but
no, I don't think
a comfortable win would be nice. Burnley are no pushovers. Like, they're very, very stingy and very, very difficult to break down. Don't score a lot of goals, which for us is a bit of a bonus because we can't stop conceding. So yeah, I think it's probably the perfect game for him, isn't it? Really, if you sort of look at it. But yeah, I'd expect a comfortable win with the positivity and the sort of environment and stuff like that. Yeah. But who knows? It's Manchester United, so who knows at this point?
I've seen a lot of reports. Training's been incredible. Apparently, the players are positive and looking good. I mean, I'm waiting for the pictures to come out with all smiley faces in training and all that kind of stuff. It's weird because usually when a manager goes, you do start hearing, or even before they get sacked, we usually get a bit of like kind of underground noise, don't we? Talking about they don't like certain things or they don't like this regime. But a lot of the stuff you do see is they do actually like him as a manager, but they just wasn't convinced on the tactics and the system.
Yeah, the system wasn't something there. And at the end of the day, if you don't believe the system's going to work, you're not going to work 100% in that system.
You're not going to fully commit to it if you don't believe in it. Just like fans, we're not going to fully commit to an idea if we don't believe it in ourselves.
Exactly. So it's kind of like, should he have gone earlier if the players after a year were still like, nah, this system. Yeah. So, and obviously the players have to take responsibility because you're a top class player being paid a lot of money. If a manager is asking you to do something, you need to do everything within your power to try and do it as much as you can. But yeah, football doesn't work that way. Like, at the end of the day, football, if you don't get results, the manager's the one who gets the sack, not the players.
Now, we're just going to see what the capybara thinks. Let me just have a look.
Okay.
And he's Ollie at the wheel, lads. That's what he's saying. We're going to have a bit of it. So that's the lucky charm.
Will we hear that again, Sung at Old Trafford?
I think you've got to, haven't you?
Yeah.
Surely you've got I don't, maybe there's another rendition of it, another kind of tune to it, but if they don't sing that is not fan culture. I'm sorry, you've got to have that ringing out around the stadium if he comes back. I'm here for it. We're 6th in the league. The league is inconsistent anyway. It's all over the place. Let's just fucking go for it. I know some people might disagree, and we'll get into that now because there's some comments in chat. Andy being positive as always, but big up Andy is always in the chat. 100% not a fan of this Ollie appointment. Last time I felt like death by 1,000 cuts. Just let Darren go for it. Yeezy Con saying Ollie nearly back at the wheel, guys. Burnley game has a draw written all over it. I mean, based off previous games, Wolves, West Ham, Forest, it probably would be. Yeah. Lumen saying, I really want Darren Fletcher to be successful. I hope Bruno hasn't rushed himself back. Glad he's back. Now we need Mainu back as well. Bruno being United's best signing since Sir Alex, and January signings take notes in the Oshu bunch of frauds.
Tell us how you really feel, mate. Don't hold back.
Yeah, don't hold back. Bruno will go to the owner who wants to teach the chef how to cook. Clowns. I just want that feel-good factor back again. That's Ali Williams, who's a real Red Ultra member. If you want to become a member and support the channel, please do click the join button next to the notification bell. And the system was why they brought him in. Fans are far too emotional, and Ineos know that no other reason Ollie would be coming back. What are you talking about? Again, I don't know, people going back and forth in the comments. But as well as a team and a collective, so I'm looking forward to tomorrow to see how we bounce back, if we bounce back. For individuals, how much do you think this could mean for Mainu's future? Because obviously that was just a talking point every week under Ruben Amorim. And you would think now, Darren Fletcher's worked with Mainu plenty of times before. It could be a massive opportunity for him to stay and really bed in his position now, isn't it?
Well, the system was the reason he wasn't playing. That was the reason he wasn't playing, because he didn't fit into the system that Ruben Amorim was playing. And the position that he saw Cobby playing was Bruno's. And obviously Bruno, as we know, doesn't get injured up until recently. and is the captain, so he's going to play every game there is. So where do you find time for Kobbie Mainoo? And obviously Bruno was out injured recently, and you thought this might be the time, and then unfortunately Kobbie got an injury as well. So his time to sort of play, it sort of passed. You thought might have just passed by, and then it was looking January, he might go on loan. But I hope now that he's reconsidering and he's like, okay, Amram's gone. Dan Fletcher's here, like you said, knows who he is. If Ollie comes in, I'm sure Ollie knows exactly who he is and what he's about and stuff like that, and will want to play him. So yeah, I hope he gets back in the team. I hope he shows what he's worth, and I hope he plays well for us. And yeah, we can move forward, because that was one thing that it definitely would have gutted me had Kobbie left. Like, I never want to back a player over the club. Like, it's always club first for me, but it would be gutted to see Kobbie Mainoo leave United. Like, that would be a bit of a sore point.
Yeah. Ahead of this preview, I was looking into Darren Fletcher's under-18s team just to try and get an idea of how he's going to set up and how he's going to play and where his inspirations come from. And obviously, he worked under the greatest manager ever in Sir Alex Ferguson for a while, and he was always kind of a sponge, tactical sponge in that setup. He's done every job possible at United that we know of, so his knowledge, Andy Mitten described him as a geek in football. Like, his know-how is right up there with some of the best. Different when it comes to applying it to a senior team. I understand that. But from what I've seen, the bits and bobs people was talking about is he's taking inspiration from each coach that he's worked with. So Sir Alex Ferguson, for example, when at United, get it out to the wingers quickly, get a 1v1 situation, get the crowd off the feet and exciting. Dropping, for example, working with Ten Hag, dropping wing backs into midfield and overloading certain areas. Like, there's bits and bobs that he's taken from each manager, but it does have that feeling of the QPR game when Ollie came. Do you remember where it was just free-flowing combinations? Yeah. I just don't know how you're going to get that winger attacking element with the players that we've got from the crop we're picking from. That's what I struggle with.
I'm sure he'll find a solution, whether that's pushing Bruno higher up into the 10 to sort of feed the guys like Cunha or whoever else is going to play in that other side. Yeah, whether it's, like I said, it could be a 4-3-3, it could be a 4-2-3-1. Like, there'll be different ways of like setting it up. But the big thing about it has to be attacking front foot football. Like, that's what it has to be, and that is exactly what he was brought up with. That's what he tries to employ the under-18s. Like, they've smashed teams like 4-5-0 or something, aren't they, regularly? Yeah. Didn't see goal for quite a while. I know under-18s is a different level, but that's his mentality. That's how he wants to go. So yeah, I imagine, start well, continue, and I hopefully don't see us trying to hang on to a 1-0 lead and then inevitably concede. Hopefully that's not going to happen tomorrow.
Yeah, he's in the presser actually. He's just spoke about what his team will look like. He said, hopefully it looks like a Manchester United team that represents a bit of me, a team that fans can be proud of and I can be proud of. We've got good players who care and a lot of quality, and I hope to give them a platform to show that. And he also spoke about, it's not about me, it's about the players going out there and crossing that white line and doing the business. So yeah, he's. I'm sure he'll prepare him right. I'm sure the training's been good, all the noise that we've been hearing. But again, it all matters when they actually get out there. And sometimes, as a manager, you have to make decisions at the time, like what subs to make. You know, do we need a tactical shifting change? Do we need to bring on more physical players? Like, there's a lot of things he has to do in game as well. So it's not as simple as that. A couple of key stats here, Sam. So traditionally this season, Man United have dropped points to 5 out of the 6 teams near the bottom. Don't need to name the teams, you already know them. Yeah. One of the worst records as well for keeping a lead in a game this season. I think the second for that. Not been great. But on the flip side, Burnley won their first ever Premier League home game against United in August 2009. However, they're winless in 8 against them since that fixture. Drew 2, lost 6, scoring just 1 goal in the process, which is good for us. They've just 2 of Burnley's 14 Premier League goals against Man United have come in home games, 14%, the lowest share of any side to net 10 plus against another competition. And Burnley picked up 7 points in the first 4 home Premier League games this season, but have since won just 1 point in the last 6. So looking pretty dire for them, and haven't won a single game in the last 11 outings as well. Now, I was having a look at the teams before. They've only beaten Wolves, Leeds, and Sunderland this season. So 2 newly promoted teams and one that's sure to go down at the minute, despite an absolute miracle. Scored 20 goals, conceded 39. They've got a couple of threats. I think it's Fleming, the striker up top. Handful, 5 goals this season since coming into the team. So you've got the odd individual threat there, but I hate saying this because you should, you know what I'm saying? You should be beating them, but it's kind of like they're not a great team, is what I'm getting at, are they?
No, but Wolves are one of the worst teams in Premier League history.
Yeah,
and
exactly.
We struggled against those. We struggled against the 10-man Everton. We struggled against West Ham, who got beat by the worst team in Premier League history the other day, spanked 3-0. So there's that. We've chucked away leads against Spurs and Nottingham Forest when we looked on top. Newcastle, I know we won that game, but the second half we were just pinned into the back of our own box for the second half of the entire game. So yeah, there is a lot of concerns there. But I'm hoping just sort of momentum, adrenaline, the feel good, and the change of atmosphere and coach. Hopefully that just gets us through this game, and we can just sort of like ride the storm out, as it were. And just sort of, there's always a bit of a manager bounce, whether that's one game or a couple of games or what have you. So hopefully we can just use that to our advantage. I was just looking at your stats then, like we've outscored them by 14 goals. Yeah. They've conceded 9 more than we have. 1.7 goals per game for us, 1 for them. Shots per game, 5.5, 3.1 for them. Big chances per game, 2.8 for us, 1.6 for them. So, like, we should beat them. But again, famous last words. We said this about Wolves, said this about Everton, we said this about West Ham. So, famous last words, but you'd hope. Hope.
When you look at the teams that have come up, so Sunderland, Leeds, and Burnley, what's the biggest? Is it the recruitment? Do you think why Sunderland and Leeds are staying 100%. Up? It looks like, and then Burnley just kind of withered away because they haven't signed anyone who've hit the ground running really. No.
And I think the coach at Sunderland is very good. I think he's very underrated. Like tactically, he's very smart. Like he's held Pep to a draw. Like he's had some really good results this season. The recruitment, obviously, they've got spot on. Like Granit Xhaka might be signing of the season. Like, I don't see anybody else who comes.
And the goalkeeper as well, Robin Roos.
Goalkeeper's fantastic.
Top player. Yeah.
Really, really good. They've got some really interesting defense. Mukulele, I really like. I think he's a fantastic defender. So I think, the recruitment they got spot on. Leeds looked like they were going down up until recently, didn't they? And then Farkas turned it around. And 6-game unbeaten run. So he's turning it around. They've got some decent players. You've mentioned Ampadu, I think is a very good player. Yeah. Calvert-Lewin's found his scoring boots all of a sudden. So that's helping him. And then, Burnley not really bought their best players. They lost Sander Berge, James Trafford. Yeah. Like they lost their best players. Scott Parker, I don't.
And James Trafford's not even playing. Think about that.
You went to City to sit on the bench.
I'm not even playing that. And Burnley must look at that now and think, was it like, do you know what I mean?
Why'd you bother?
What's the point? That could have been the difference. Like you could have a few more points on the table there.
They came up, didn't they, because of their solid defense? Like they didn't concede hardly anything, and he was part of it. So I'm hoping we should just comfortable win this because I don't think they have much about them. I think if we do lose this, it'll be our own fault. I don't think it'll be anything Burnley does. It'll be something we do.
No, Chivy's just put in the chat as well. We're spanking Burnley, so he seems to be very confident. I have to admit, I'm not as confident.
No.
I still feel like I think we'll probably get the win, but I still feel like it's going to be a very tricky game and not as straightforward as everyone thinks. But I suppose we'll have to wait and see. I always notice, Sam, whenever we used to play Burnley with Ole Gunnar Solskjaer, for example, we'd always go for a physical team, right? We'd make a selection, like we'd bring in Matic or McTominay to match that. But I don't think really we have any player. I mean, Heaven, to be fair, has been pretty good, right? So would you be confident in him against someone like a Fleming who's a bit nasty, a bit physical? Do you think he can hold his own?
Yeah, like we've seen it. Like Aiden Heaven's been phenomenal. Like I think over the last couple of games, like I think he's been arguably one of our better players. He's a big lad. He's only 18, but he's a big lad. He's physical. Quick, he's good on the ball. He's quick. Yeah, he's got all the attributes of a good centre back, so I would have no issue sticking him in the team. Like I think he should be, when you look at your defensive lineup, I think it's him and Leacher. I think those are the two you look at and go, that's the ones you want. Like,
Warriors, isn't it?
Warriors who fight for it, both good on the ball, both are very good at positioning and stuff like that. So yeah, I think those are the two you look at. And it's very different team to, like, when we played him with Ollie, it was very much Sean Dyche, wasn't it? And that's what he was about at Burnley. He would like sit back, get on the counter, use Dwight Gale or whoever it is, and get it up to the big man. Who was the striker they had at
Jay
Burnley?
Rodriguez. Or Chris Wood they had for a period of time.
Yeah,
as well.
Chris Wood, Jay Rodriguez, and just get it on their head, want it? Just get it on their head and get him to score. Like, did he have Vegas as well at some point?
Yeah, Val Vegas. Yeah, absolutely.
So that was who they were for a while. And then obviously Vincent Kompany changed that with some very nice football in the Championship that didn't work at all in the Premier League. And ended up getting a Bayern job, which is still one of the weirdest managerial moves I've ever seen in my life. You get a team relegated like Burnley and you get the Bayern Munich job. Like,
he's done well though, to be fair.
No. Full credit to him. Like he's doing fantastic. But when you said, if you said to someone, the guy who relegated Burnley is going to be the Bayern Munich manager, you'd be like, what the fuck are you talking about? Like, so, but yeah, I don't want to be clipped up and famous last words, but it should be a United win. Should.
I think everyone feels the same. And just the amount of positivity you can get back in to the team with that.
Relief as well.
Yeah.
Just the relief.
I just feel like these loads of fans will just jump behind you if you get a convincing win. Like, we've been fucking bored with the football for so long. We've been in a situation. You just come in and get a decent performance, a decent win, and people will fucking lap it up. They'll love it.
If you can go 2-3 goals up before like 70 minutes,
yeah,
and everybody can relax and everybody can just enjoy, like happy days. It's just when you're like 1-0 and then you're just holding on for like 20 minutes and you're just like, an equalizer is coming. Like, it's coming. That's I can't be doing with that again. Like, I can't do it.
I agree. For Burnley, they're currently on 12 points in 19th place at the minute. Now, what I find interesting is Nottingham Forest are 6 points ahead of them, but they play West Ham tonight. So, Burnley will be looking at this game and thinking, if West Ham lose, or even if Nottingham Forest lose, which would be even better, or draw, you can start pushing. So that might actually encourage them to push for points even more against us.
How bad are West Ham, by the way? Fucking hell.
Do you know what, though? I can't remember who we predicted for when we did, the pre-season predictions.
Yeah.
But West Ham was nowhere near my radar.
No, I didn't pick West Ham. I picked Brentford, for fuck's sake. And look at them. Absolutely flying. I picked Brentford.
But again, you're not mad for thinking that, because
no.
He had a set piece coach going.
Yeah. So but he's absolutely smashing it, and then West Ham are
so well,
falling down the table.
Brentford aren't far off us now. I don't
exactly.
think they're very close to us. Last thing on him. Any PTSD there from the Wolves and Leeds game, or are you more confident? I don't know if I've already.
Yeah, I'm a little bit more confident, but there's definitely scar tissue. There's definitely a nagging feeling in the back of my head, because it's essentially the same team, isn't it?
Yeah.
Bruno and Mason Mount on the bench, possibly, but it's essentially the same team. It's just tactically, can we set up differently enough to get the win? Because that seems to be what everyone was saying is the reason why Amrim is losing these games or not winning these games, was the tactical setup. So if we change the tactical setup, maybe we can get a positive result.
And ones to watch in this game for you?
Yeah, it'd be Fleming for Burnley. Physical centre forward is going to look to bully any of the United defenders. So just shut him down, make sure he doesn't get anywhere or gets on the ball at all. For United, I'll go Cunha. I thought he had a really good half against Leeds. Good. I thought he was excellent. Was running the show. Obviously got a goal. Sort of tapered off towards the second half a little bit once Leeds came back into the game. But I thought he was really important and stepped up, which we've been asking him to do. So hopefully he sort of continues that in this game.
Yeah, I agree. I think I would have loved to seen Kobbie Mainoo, because I think this is the perfect opportunity to put him into the team. I really do. Yeah. But you can't look past Matheus Cunha. I'm happy with him that he's finally starting to show a bit, because in the moments when we've needed him, at this time in particular, he's come through and he's got us points or whatever. So pleased with Mateus Cunha, and I agree. I think that Fleming is going to be the biggest problem. But when you've got Heaven and Martinez, like you referred to before, I think we're going to be absolutely fine. So no issue with that whatsoever. I'll pop the starting 11s on the screen just in a minute. Let me just read out a couple of comments and then we'll dive into it. Ollie at the wheel, I'd be on board, but we need to re-sign Sanchez, Paul Pogba, and Fred and Rashford to revive our best chant ever.
No.
Nexus saying, honestly, after Ruben's sacking, I'm no longer interested as long as the owners are here, mate. Listen, I get it. There's a lot of people annoyed with Ineos, and you can. I almost feel like we need to do a video of 5 things they've majorly fucked up, because there has been some decisions. And straight off the top of your head, right? Ashworth was a massive one. The Tenag, keeping hold of him, 300 million again. Like it's just, it's not been great.
They've got a lot of stuff wrong. They've got a lot of stuff wrong.
Yeah.
Not even touching on the redundancies, the ticket price hikes, and all that sort of stuff. Like that's obviously the football stuff is going to take the main focus, but there's been stuff outside of the football thing which also they've got wrong. So yeah, they haven't been perfect by any means, for sure.
Yeah. All right, let's get into starting 11s. I think mine's coming up on the screen first, so I'll just quickly blitz through mine. So I've gone a little bit different, right? I've gone a bit of risky because it's one of them games. It's a bit of a free for all, and fuck it, you don't know what's going to happen.
Yeah. Look, I've done something similar to you as well.
So Lamont, Heaven, Leacher, Shaw, Dallo at the back, right? I don't think that's going to change too much.
I don't see anybody else.
Yeah. However, I have gone Casemiro, Jim Thwaites, and Bruno from the start.
Jim Thwaites. So he's getting his debut against Burnley.
Yeah, so Jim Thwaites in Fletcher's team, he's prominent in that midfield, and he's obviously Chivy was speaking about him yesterday, but he's very good in like the build-up, taking the ball. He's more of a Spanish-type player than he is an English player from bits and bobs that I've seen.
Very technical.
That's a wild card that I'm throwing in there, that Jim Thwaites starts along Casemiro, and Bruno will start ahead of him, or if Bruno's not fit enough to start, there'll be tweaks, Cunha will move over, or it'll be Xerxes. And then the front three, I think it has to be Dorgu, Sesko, and Cunha, because Dorgu's the only one in the team who can replicate that winger role, who can go a bit more 1v1. And then Cunha's been great, and Sesko again. And you're not starting Xerxes over Sesko, in my opinion. So that's why I've gone with them. Right, let's go with your team. Let's get that on the screen. Let's have a look. Go for it.
So you can see my wild card there, Shea Lacey.
Yes.
I've been begging for this kid to get a debut. I think we did a members video, where I talked about Shea Lacey, and we talked Harry Amas. I've been begging for this kid to start. So I've chucked him in because, like you said, with that winger role, that sort of right forward, we don't have Mbumo, we don't have Ahmad. Dorgu had a good one the first game, but then against Leeds, I don't think he was as effective. Like I thought he was still decent, but I think he was less effective. So I'm putting Shea Lacey in there. Like you said, feel good factor. He's worked under Darren Fletcher. He's played the under-18. He knows what he's about. So let's bring that United feeling back and put him in. Sesko, Cunha, same as you. Bruno, team's gone.
Sorry, go on.
Bruno, I've put in there, but like you said, if he isn't 100% fit, maybe they shift things around, put Xerxes there or Cunha or something like that. Casemiro, Ugarte, because I'd love to see Cobby, but I don't know what his fitness status is, so I've stuck with that. And then the back 5, we've already spoken about. That is probably what's going to start.
Yeah, Sam, be careful using that back 5 word, because people might think.
Oh, sorry. I mean back 4 and the goalie. That's what I mean. Not
back 4 and the goalie. People are getting PTSD and like fucking shivers down the spine when you see that. I know we joked about it yesterday. But I like both teams. I'd be happy with either one. It's not like we've got shitloads of options to kind of rotate with. So fascinating to see. Let's jump into a quick fire round. Anyone involved in the live comments or watching it a little bit later on, get them in the comments. Will Burnley score in the first half?
No,
I agree. Will any of the Fletcher brothers get minutes?
I don't think so.
I don't. You're probably right. One of the questions was, will Ollie be in charge at any point in the season? But that's pointless asking it, because it's probably going to happen now. Yeah, what world are we living in? Will we score from a set piece?
Ooh, no.
Also agree. And man of the match prediction?
Cunha.
Cunha. Okay. Nexus, guys, great show as always. With all that's
Thank you.
happened, do you honestly think we will make any signings in this window, or they will bury everything just like a cat this shite? I'd put money on that we don't sign anyone.
I've heard that.
That's all right, innit? Will they bury everything like a cat with shit? Yeah, that's a good one. I like it, Nexus.
Yeah.
I would put money on that we don't sign anyone.
Yeah.
I can't see it happening. Semenyo was the one. He's got a medical with City on Thursday. So just don't see it happening.
It's not happening. That's almost as good as, I can't remember who put the phrase in, but he used the phrase "rip the arse out of it."
Yeah, that was T2, I think. I think
T2. That was my favorite phrase I've ever heard.
Dying at that.
I want him to come in and rip the arse out of it. That's fantastic phrase.
Yeah. If T2's in the chat, I think. So if that was you, then please. And also as well, I have to shout out the person who, it wasn't intentional, but the Toby menu was like the most unintentional comedy ever. And do you know what as well? I was sad because he retracted the comments. And it was like, just leave, you know what I mean? Like when you create a gem unintentionally.
Did you see the I sent you the comment. Some guy, I think it's called Nath on the thing. It's a free Toby menu.
Free Toby menu. Toby menu. Yeah. And someone put as well, with a real Toby menu, please stand up. I was just dying. Fantastic. Me and Dan, honestly.
Fantastic.
Classic. Absolute classic. With all that in mind, score prediction, Sam, for this game.
2-0 United.
Ooh, we've gone the same on everything today. I've gone 2-0 as well, Man United. Because I thought I can't see them smashing them.
I don't think there's a battering.
But I think there'd be enough there to a bit of good feel.
Comfortable.
Yeah. Hopefully. Just the last thing I want to discuss, because Romano's just done an update, Sam, with literally 2 minutes we'll spend on it. It's just reported that Ole Gunnar Solskjaer and Man United are in advanced positive talks over a caretaker role. Ole is ready to say yes. The decision now rests with United. It feels like it's getting closer and closer and closer than ever. I know these journalists do that sometimes, engagement and hype, and
especially
blah, blah, blah.
Romano. Especially Romano.
Yeah, Romano's the I was gonna say the king of it, but I don't want to be that kind to him. But he's the guy who does it quite a lot.
Just rephrase the same shit in a different way.
But then put words in capitals and make it sound extra special and extra like crazy. But this is where we're at the minute. If you're Wilcox in Ineos, would you look towards something like this, or would you go for something different if a prime manager that you wanted to go for wasn't available right now? Because there's a lot of managers in the summer, whether it's Yarrow or Glasgow,
the World Cup, innit?
Tuchel after the World Cup, who are going to be available. So is that the right decision based on that?
I think it's probably a sensible decision at this point. Like a lot of managers, and we went through this with Amrin, don't want to come in mid-season because they don't get the pre-season, they don't get any signings, and they have to work, and it ends up reflecting badly on them having that 6 months. Like saw with Ralph Ragnick, he was supposed to move upstairs, wasn't he? And he completely fucked his United career by not only bad performances but also saying shit about the Glazers and other things, which I found fantastic.
I loved it.
They didn't appreciate. So this probably is a sensible option. It does feel like United going back to a comfort blanket, though, doesn't it? A little bit.
Yeah, I agree with that.
Like that's what it feels like after taking a risk on Amrin and getting the fingers burnt. It does feel like a bit of a sort of comfort blanket. Let's go back to United legend. Let's go do that. It'd be interesting to see who we do sort of go in this summer, like who ends up coming in. Like I thought it's going to be happening with the likes of Tuchel. Say, look, after the World Cup, whatever happens, like and get the deal done early. So when he does finish, you can just announce it and it'd be done. Or do we have a longer process and look over the season, like who's performed well, who's not, and then make a decision then? So yeah, it'll be interesting to see what happens. What about you? Do you feel right about this decision?
I said at the start, I'm just fucking wing it. Just the Premier League's been mad this season anyway. It's been a wild roller coaster. The football's been absolutely dog shit. So if someone could come in, put a bit of life into this team, get an engine
just
going.
Entertain me.
Get some entertaining games in there, and let's just fucking see where it takes us. Like, strap me in. I'm all for it. I don't want to see it on a permanent.
No. We ain't going to win anything this year.
No.
Just entertain me. Just entertain me.
Entertain us. If you get European football as well, fucking fantastic.
Great.
I'm here for it. And then the summer, Ineos have got a massive decision to make because they've fucked up a lot of decisions. So the next one, and I know people said it about Amrin, but the next one's got to be right. It has to be right.
Well, the trust the trust is already broken. Like people are already questioning Wilcox, Radcliffe, Omar Barada and stuff. Like people are already questioning him. So the trust is already like waning. So it's an interesting thing. And not only they've got a manager decisions to make, they've still got to continue the squad rebuild. Like that's still ongoing. So they've got to get transfers done. They've got to get a manager done. It's a big fucking summer. Like if it wasn't already with the transfers, now it's even bigger. So yeah, Jesus
World
Christ.
Cup, new manager, it's all going off. Just to rule out anyone who thought Eric Ten Hag was returning to Manchester United.
Was that a rumor?
No,
was that going about?
I'm taking the piss.
All right,
because
Jesus
we've seen
Christ.
so many people linked with the job, who have previously been at the club. But yeah, he's just been appointed as FC20's technical director. Okay. So think of that for what you want. Good luck to Eric.
Honestly, I'd go on hiatus if he came back. I'd be like, no, I'm not doing
people
this.
are so happy about Ole because of what he did in the interim period.
Yeah.
If Ten Hag's coming back and you got those fucking boarding school teacher press conferences, I can't be asked about bollocks. No thanks. Big up everyone who's been in the chat. Really appreciate all the comments and the interaction. There is loads and loads of reaction over on Instagram. There's clips, there's news stories, there's everything. So if you don't follow us on there already to get United fix, make sure you do it. Also on Twitter is now a little bit more active. Dan's doing some good stuff over on there. So check us out on Twitter, and then there's always clips on TikTok as well.
We've just passed 9K on Instagram, which I've been trying to get to 10K for a while now, but it started to pick up. Obviously, with the Amrin news, it's helped. So, yeah, if you're not following us on Instagram, please do, because I want to get to 10K at some point soon. So that would be fantastic for us. So please do go follow us on there. I've been posting like a madman over the last 3 days. So it'd be nice to see the appreciation, which I'm seeing like likes, comments, all the good stuff. So, yeah, thank you.
Just to end with this comment, and I think this is a perfect way to end it. Ali Williams just put 1% tactics, 99% vibes, and I'm down with it. I'm here, mate. I'm with you.
I'll take it.
Let's see what happens. We'll be live for the Burnley game tomorrow. If not, if something gets announced about Ollie tonight, I'll go back live as well. So stay tuned in.